Well, I think we're live. I'm Kyle Kramer. I'm the executive director at the Earth and Spirit Center, and I am joined today by Doug Van Houten. So, hello, Doug.
Hey, Kyle. Hi, everyone.
So, Doug, among the many things that he has done and is doing, Doug is a wilderness guide with Animas Valley, which is a nonprofit organization, I think out of Boulder. Is that right, Doug?
Durango, Colorado, Western
Durango.
Colorado. Yeah.
Okay, so a nonprofit organization out of Durango, which was founded by the depth psychologist Bill Plotkin back, I think, in the early 80s, with a mission to contribute to the let me try this again, with a mission to contribute to cultural transformation by fostering nature-based personal development and thus the maturation of individuals and the human species. So no small mission, but much much resonance with the work that we do here at the Earth and Spirit Center. And Doug has been a part of Animas Valley for quite some time, and has likewise done programs at the Earth and Spirit Center over the years. So Doug, you and I, separate from this call, you and I have had some ongoing conversation about this idea that much of Western culture is basically kind of stuck in early adolescence. And I think the way you put it is we're stuck in egocentrism rather than being what you and Bill Plotkin would call, I'll try and get this right, eco-soul centric.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So I got two questions in there. So what if indeed our culture has this degree of arrested development and this stuckness in adolescence and egocentrism, what does that mean? What are the consequences of where we are culturally right now?
Right. I mean, arrested human development seems to be at the core of all of our crises. And if you look at it, many of us don't mature into what you would say ripe adults, skilled adults in all the realms of what an adult entails. And very few of us are making it into being elders.
Right. So aging is no guarantee of growing up.
Right. Being an older doesn't make you an elder.
Mm-hmm.
Right. You pass through life stages, and we've lost rites of initiation.
Interesting. So
Yeah.
what does that look like in the culture when so many of us we may have grown older, but we haven't become elders or really truly grown up? How does that manifest?
I think of the image of a butterfly who's reached its imago self beyond its adolescent self of a caterpillar, right? Caterpillar is a consumer, big consumer. A butterfly is consuming less and pollinating the world with its unique imprint that mystery gave it, that its genetic coding gave it. As Thomas Berry said, the genetic coding, soul, tells us what we're about. The psyche knows what we're about. And living that's like a second adulthood. Most of us are in what James Hollis calls a first adulthood and not doing that very well because we've had degraded systems and things in place, right? So it's hard to get there. Nobody's fault. It's just hard to get there. Yeah.
So what does ego soul centrism look like compared to I got that wrong. What does eco soul centrism look like as opposed to egocentrism?
Yeah, so egocentrism would be more living on the surface of your psyche, where a soul centric, you're living more in the depths.
Okay.
Your own deep knowing. The ego is more influenced by the world around us. And in a way, we have all these egos conforming to each other and worlds getting shallower and shallower and shallower. Soul-centric is dropping down into your own deep wisdom and remembering your own, you could say your own coding, your original coding, right? That you were born with, your own unique gifts, your own unique way of being, your own wisdom, your own source, intrapsychic source of inspiration that you are endowed with.
Oh, I'm hearing a lot of echoes. I'm hearing echoes of Carl Jung. I think I'm hearing some Thomas More in there, maybe. I know that I've read some about Bill Plotkin's theory that there are these two streams, and one of them is this underground stream. It sounds like that soul purpose really taps into that aquifer as opposed to the surface water.
Exactly, you know, because they're like, we're in middle world, everywhere, everyday realm. There's upper world to transcendent, connecting to the one, but there's also the underworld stream of finding your own unique life, like a
Mm.
thumbprint and a snowflake. Each of us has our own unique gifts to bring to the world, the purpose, where we find purpose and meaning. And this has been left out of virtually all spiritualities and philosophies. And I believe it's at the heart of why we are not, we're in so much trouble.
Right. And as you said before,
Yeah,
we don't have like initiation sorts of experiences that would invite us into that, exploring that deeper stream. Um,
exactly,
so
exactly.
unfortunately, though, I think what I hear you saying is that if you really want to know your life purpose, you're not going to be able to sit down with a spreadsheet or a pad of paper and just figure
Right.
it out or cogitate it, correct?
Right. It's not just the strategic mind that tells you about this, it's the psyche.
Darn, my
It's
strategic mind does not want to hear that.
the larger conversation, you know. Think of Jesus going out into the secret laboratories of the wild.
Mm.
Buddha, 2 years under the tree.
Hmm.
All of these great experiences that people have in the natural world, finding their ultimate place of belonging in the more than human world, not just the human world, the more than human world.
I'm so glad you mentioned that
Yeah,
because I mean that seems to be a common and an essential thread in this whole conversation that
yeah,
you can't really connect deeply with soul. You can't discover and live into life purpose without this really profound connection to the, as you say, to the more than human world. That's not
yeah.
optional. And yet I just look around and almost all of us have, you know, at best kind of a superficial connection to
Mhm.
that world.
Right. The nature tasks that are ours to cultivate are almost completely left out of all of our models
Mm.
and all of our teachings.
Yeah,
You know,
our
we're
educational models,
so
our psychoanalytic models. Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I see why you like to spend a lot of time outside and all
Yeah.
across the world in different wild places. Is that right?
Totally. And Thomas Berry, one of your alls at Earth and Spirit, one of your inspirations, he said we need to, he said what we need is a descent into our pre-rational, our instinctual self. There's where we'll find the coding for our cultural needs. It's a wander out into the wilderness to find your larger place of belonging. And your own psyche has these experiences that arise in
Mm.
such a journey.
Yeah.
We used to do this on Earth,
Yeah.
but modern people, we've lost this.
But we can do it
Yeah,
again. And so
yeah.
as we close here, Doug, I do want to give a little shout out, first of all, again, to your work with Animas Valley, and also you and I and others are going to be having a community conversation in a couple weeks on April 15th from 7 to 8. That is on our website. We'll put a link in this feed for the community conversation in which we'll be exploring more deeply how we discover our soul purpose and journey through the developmental stages that Bill Plotkin describes. So, Doug, I am really grateful for this teaser for that larger conversation. And
Mhm.
in the meantime, if folks want to learn more about you and your work, how can they do so?
Yeah, they can go to my website, www.bodyortsoul.org, or they can go to, I work for Animas, Bill Plotkin founded Animas Valley. They can go to www.animas.org.
Fantastic. Well, Doug, thank you so much for this
Mhm.
conversation. I look forward to chatting again at length in a few weeks, and may you be well.
Thank you so much, Kyle. Appreciate it. Appreciate you.